Hello, my name is Barry Plaisance, and I'm running for the seat of the Lockport mayor. I'm the youngest son of Evans and Linda Plaisance, and I'm married to Jennifer Mathern from Raceland. We have one son, Hudson Plaisance. One of the reasons why I decided to run for mayor was our former House of Representative, Reggie Bagala. He put it in my head that someone needed to run, and that person he thought was me. I disagreed with him at the time, and I ended up running for the school board instead. And here came Ida. And after Ida, it became very apparent that I did need a run, and that's the reason why I'm running. I want to see our town better. I think we deserve better. I think that at the end of the day, I think we can move our town forward, and forward is where we really need to go. Well, our businesses are the backbone of our economy. I believe we have to have a really solid plan to move our town forward through our businesses. Our businesses support our fairs, our sporting events here in town, our local sport teams. But at the end of the day, we need to promote new business, but promote businesses that we currently have right now. I would like to reach out to all of them to form a committee and be able to meet with them quarterly to promote inside of ourselves and to promote to the surrounding areas of what we actually have here in town. And I think that'll go a long way in the long run, you know, not looking at tomorrow, but 10 years from now, because that's what we need to be looking. I think we really need to reach out to different organizations, obviously FEMA as well, because Hurricane Ida really damaged some already damaged buildings. But I think there are organizations who are willing to help us in our endeavor to fix our blighted communities. But I think it's a tough one because there's a real difference between public and private, and we really have to it's a fine line between doing the right thing and wrong thing, but our community, we really need to clean it up. But I think we need to offer assistance rather than just say we need to clean it up. I think we need help along the way. So, well, it's very simple for me. Our laws are laws. There are laws, and they're created to protect our community. I believe at the end of the day, the letter of the law is the letter of the law. We should do right, whether it comes down to zoning, and to not change zoning just because someone wants it. At the end of the day, if it's R1 or it's commercial, that's what it should be and that's what it's going to be. I think there are some things that could be changed, but to designate something that was a house and to transform it into something where someone could put a trailer, I'm not okay with. But our laws are set up because they work. To address the animals, again, it's the law to not have chickens, to not have other animals other than cats and dogs at your house. I think we just need to do a better job of enforcing it and make sure that people understand the law in our town before we go out and say you can't do this. Make sure that they understand that they can't, and I think that'll go over a lot better with our community. But again, I think the zoning and the laws that we have for zoning are created for a reason. I think the number one concern I'm hearing from people around town as I'm walking through is drugs. That's the number one concern. And it's also mine included with a 10-year-old son. At the end of the day, drugs are a problem everywhere, not just Lockport. But I'm willing to work with our local PD, our state troopers, Lafourche Parish Sheriffs, it doesn't matter, to try to suppress it as much as possible. I know getting rid of it is impossible, but I think the more things that we can positively do in our community, I think will set precedents. I'll give you a great example, like the pumpkin patch from this weekend. I believe our community needs lots of events like that, hopefully monthly, if not monthly, every other month. We have a couple of really good things we do in town that we need to focus in on. We do things that are bad. But I think the more good that we could actually put out to our community, we could suppress the drugs as much as possible. Well, I'll start by saying this. Me and my wife moved back to town in 2010, and we decided to have a family here. We saw the direction, and it really wasn't the way it was, of course, when I was a child here growing up in town. It was definitely a different direction. To address the problem, I think is somewhat of what we just said about events in town and taking it in a different direction. The direction needs to be a family-oriented direction where we take a quaint town like we have here. We show our town off to people from the outside, and we could take this into a different direction, because at the end of the day, the more people we attract to town, the more money we make in revenue from sales taxes and different things that will come into town. It's about community for our town. You know, we've gotten far away from community. To me, the small events bring community back to our area and it actually brings people closer to each other instead of distancing ourselves from each other, because we have a division in town. It's time for us to unify and bring ourselves together. Well, first off, we need to reach out to Lafourche Parish Animal Control. And there are spay and neuter programs out there that we could use. We could also relocate animals as well, because right now, definitely after walking the streets of Lockport, we have an abundance of especially cats that are stray cats, and they are not spayed and neutered. They have so many, and it's not just in one particular part of town, but I think the more and more we reach out and offer programs, I think that the more and more we'll see the benefit. I think it's a long-term problem, but I think one that could be addressed pretty quickly. But there are relocation programs as well. Of course, we'll work with the council daily. We'll communicate with them daily on daily projects, on things that we want to, potentially look at in the future. And I think getting them involved in what decisions, of course, day-to-day decisions are made by the mayor for the most part, but their involvement in that decision, I think, is critical, because this is not about just me or a mayor or any position. This is about us as a town moving forward. So ideally, emailing them, text messaging them daily about updates, about projects that we do. Most of this is about communication, and that way we can move forward. We can work together, that we did this project, not I. This is not about me. This is about us. I'm not really certain that higher taxes need to be collected. I just think if we continue to do the right things, I think sales tax increases will be enough to offset anything that comes up. Of course, they deserve raises, absolutely. They deserve every penny of it. They haven't gotten a raise. I believe it's been almost 10 years before this that they haven't gotten a raise. So it was past due. But I think the more and more we promote, self-promote, and get our name out there and put Lockport back on the map, we won't have to raise taxes. I know there's certain things with sewage and other things that taxes are needed and money's needed. But in this case, I don't really believe that we're going to need to collect any more. I just think we need to do the right things with the money, because it's public money. It's our money. But at the end of the day, I think we could self-promote and push ourselves out there to the rest of the world, really. In this term, will I increase taxes? The answer is no. I'm not a big fan of increasing taxes, especially in this term. Of course, this is a 2-year term. It's very short. But at the end of the day, I think we have enough to move ourselves forward. But do we need other money? Absolutely. I think we really need to push, go and get grant money, state money, of course, to do projects. I think there's more money to be out there to be had than what we go after. I think a position is needed in our town for a grant writer or an economic developer. I think that we could really move forward with a person that could fill that position. So that way we don't have to increase taxes. That person can work for us and get more money coming in. There's more streamlined, more cash that we have to come up with 10% of. And so I think we can move ourselves forward that way instead of increasing taxes. I am 42 years old. I'm born and raised here in our town. But I really want to see our town change, not big changes, small changes in the right direction. I have a young family and I want to see them proud like I was when I grew up here. At this moment, I'm proud, but not as proud as I used to be 42 years ago, born here. I think that the direction we're headed is not really great. I think we can make a real positive impact in our community here with different types of events, positive family events that gets Lockport back on the map. And that's what's important, to get our community back first and get people back on board, because it's all about people. Our community is about people, helping people. And for Ida, I saw people come together, which it did my heart. It did great wonders. I look forward to being your future mayor from here forward. I'm Barry Plaisance, and I humbly ask for your support November 8th. Thank you.